Namaskar, everyone. Thank you for taking out time on this weekend and making yourself available for next 1 hour. I know this is precious time for all of you, so I would like to be precise on the topic that I have outlined and would like to keep the session interactive. Uh, I would definitely see if this uh, session can have a follow-up session going ahead in case if the I'm not able to answer to your queries. So नमस्कार सभी को सब वीकेंड को ज्वाइन करने के लिए आप सभी को धन्यवाद and to give a small introduction about myself for those who don't know me. I am Sumit Jha and I have been into this wealth management, personal finance and capital markets business for last 14 years. And out of those 14 years, 12 and a half years, I have worked for corporates like Dara Shaw, ICICI Securities Limited, and L&T Infra, L&T Infra Finance Company, Unitas Capital, majorly in the leadership role with respect to products like fixed income, capital markets, and insurance. And so बाकी सभी को ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि मैं इस फील्ड में लास्ट 14 साल से हूँ. लास्ट 1.5 साल से मैंने अपना काम शुरू किया है एंड इट इज more with respect to catering to the financial wellness solution for our set of clients. And the objective is that yeah, as I told you that I was giving my introduction to all of you that I have been into this particular business for last 14 years. And recently I have started on my own with a company called Investenable Advisory Service, wherein we cater to the financial wellness for our clients. And the objective is to provide financial awareness to every one of our clients so that they can move ahead on their path towards financial freedom. So today we would be speaking about the concept of financial well-being, okay, and what are the different action points which we can take to attain the financial well-being for oneself. So हम लोग आज जो बात करेंगे, आज हम लोग बात करेंगे अपनी वित्तीय भलाई के लिए. जब मैं वित्तीय भलाई के बारे में बात करता हूँ, इट इज मोर विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू आप अपना पैसा आज या कल कैसे मैनेज करिएगा, ठीक है, एंड इस पैसे को कैसे आप उपयोग में ले आ सकते हैं ताकि आप अपने लिए, अपने परिवार के लिए इसका बेस्ट उपयोग कर सके. एंड so and it is really important that we have a definition of financial planning, financial well-being, sorry, to start with. So for defining financial well-being is basically a financial wellness is more related with your relationship with money. It refers to how secure your money is given all the variables involving an unknown future. Are you financially prepared for emergency? Do you have active plans in place to reach your long and short term financial goals? It also includes your present situation with money. Do you have a budget? Do you stick to it? What about your attitude towards money? And finally, does the thought of it makes you sick to your stomach or does it make you come alive? All of these consideration and more must be a part of thorough financial wellness. So जब हम फाइनेंशियल वेलनेस की बात करते हैं तो आप अगर फाइनेंशियल वेलनेस की बात करते हैं तो उसमें जैसे मैंने कहा कि आपको प्रेजेंट और आपके फ्यूचर फाइनेंशियल गोल्स जो शॉर्ट टर्म हो, लॉन्ग टर्म हो, उनको आपको पूर्ति करनी होती है, ठीक है, आपको उसको पूरा करना पड़ता है. और वो आप कैसे कर सकते हैं? इट कैन बी डन आइदर if you are able to manage your present finances well, and also if you are planning in such a way that you can manage your future goals also. आप आगे का भी अपना फाइनेंशियल प्लान तभी सही से कर सकते हो जब आप आगे सोच रहे हो, आप प्लान कर रहे हो कि आप आगे के गोल्स के लिए आप कैसे तैयार हो. So financial well-being, if you would say, has 4 elements. As I told you, वो present, future, security and freedom of choice. So it is overlapping in this particular case. So as far as I am talking about present, so in present, when we talk about security, it is having control over day to day and month to month finances, in the sense how much you are prepared for your understanding of your cash inflows and your expenses. This is majorly when we are talking about present security. Also, present freedom of choice is that how well you are managing your finances so that you can enjoy the current lifestyle which you want to enjoy. Having the financial freedom to make the choices that allow you to enjoy life at present. Then comes the future part. That future, when you are talking about security, it is that how well you have having the capacity to absorb a financial shock, how well you are prepared that in case if there is some uncertainty which crops up in future, how you will be able to manage it. Similarly, freedom of choice, when it is again like being on track to meet your financial goal, so that you yourself is working in the best possible manner to attain your financial goal. So जब हम बात करते हैं फाइनेंशियल वेलबींग की, इट इज मोर विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू आज हम अपना खर्चा पानी कैसे निकाल रहे हैं और किस तरीके से निकाल रहे हैं जो कि हमारे लाइफस्टाइल को इम्पैक्ट ना करे। हम जैसा जिंदगी जीना चाह रहे हैं वैसा जीते रहे और हमारा इनकम और एक्सपेंस भी बराबर से मैनेज होता रहे। तो हम बजट अच्छे तरीके से कर रहे हैं और फ्यूचर के लिए ये है कि कोई अनिश्चितता अगर कल आती है, आप उसके लिए कैसे कितने तैयार हैं। दिस इज अबाउट फाइनेंशियल वेलबींग। Taking towards the action. So basically, if you would say, these are the 9 action plans which we would be discussing going forward, and I would take one by one on all these things. But if you would see the presentation, you would see that there is a sad face. एक चेहरा है which is उदास चेहरा है, ठीक है, at the beginning of the presentation, and as we move on we end up with a smiling face which is more with respect to happiness. So what I am trying to say over here is these action plans will make you from a stressed financial or money worry or money stressed person to a more happier person. So if you are following these things, it will definitely help you out. And as you say, there are different action plans as it has been showcased. Okay, to begin with, it is the first which we think is save before you spend. It is really important to know that whether you are a saver or a spender. It is really important to understand this particular part. When I'm talking about a spender, it is someone who once received the money in the form of salary or whatever inflow. As soon as he receives it, the objective is that he will expend, and whatever comes after expending, whatever is left is savings. And the definition of saver is someone, as soon as something comes to him in the form of money, he or she saves first and then expend. स्पेंडर का मतलब ये है जो पहले अपनी क्या बोलते हैं कमाई आते ही खर्च करता है और उसके बाद जो बचता है वो बचत होता है उसके लिए। और सेवर वो होता है जो अपने इनकम को जैसे ही उसके पास इनकम आती है वो पहले सेविंग्स करता है उसके बाद खर्च करता है। So here when I am talking about spender and saver, you have to determine, because this is your money personality. ये आपकी फितरत है. This is something which is your that's why I told you your attitude towards money. So ये लोगों की फितरत है कि how where they stand. And then comes the third thing, which is investor. So probably in your lifestyle, until unless you don't have your own you don't have any responsibilities, जब तक आपके पास जिम्मेवारी नहीं होती तब तक most of the cases में हम लोग स्पेंडर रहते हैं। जैसे कि अगर इमेजिन कीजिए कोई स्टूडेंट है, उसको नौकरी मिलती है, अभी उसके पास कोई जिम्मेवारी नहीं है सिर्फ अपने सिवा। सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम उसका मनी के या पैसे के प्रति जो उसका एटीट्यूड है वो ये रहेगा कि जैसे पैसा आएगा वो खर्च करेगा, उसके बाद जो बचेगा वो उसका सेविंग्स होगा। And as we move ahead, in our life, okay, we tend to become saver. Reason being that there are other responsibilities which are coming to it, there are other things, there are experience which helped us to move into that particular category. But to be precise, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि कोई किसी की फितरत, किसी का एटीट्यूड ऐसा होता है कि दे आर स्पेंडर थ्रू आउट देयर लाइफ, इट इज रियली डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम टू सेव समथिंग, okay, and there are people who remain saver throughout their life in the means that they are only saving. So we need to move from spender to saver to investor. Now investor is what, when I'm talking about investor is basically someone who is making use of his saving and allowing that saving to grow. क्या मैंने पैसा बचा लिया, पैसा बचाने के बाद मैंने क्या किया, मैंने उसे अगर बैंक में रख दिया और सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट में, तो वो 2.5-3% के रेट पे ग्रो करेगा। क्या 2.5-3% सफिशिएंट है मेरे फाइनेंशियल गोल को मीट करने के लिए? मेरे अनुसार नहीं। सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, you need to invest your particular that particular corpus in something which will grow more than significant, it should grow significantly so that it can take care of other things or your other financial goals. So I just thought I will put this particular phrase by Bill Gates, that it's not your fault if you were born poor, it's definitely your fault if you die poor. Okay. As far as again when we are talking about the present and when we are talking about the current situation, saving and spending may major chunk of our portion probably in more or less everyone's life is some kind of liability. ठीक है, किसी न किसी प्रकार का liability हमारे ऊपर है, कोई ना कोई लोन या तो हम लिए हुए हैं, either it might be for housing purpose, okay, home loan हो, या it is some kind of student loan, या हमारे पास car loan है, या if we are significantly using credit card, ठीक है, or education loan is there. Okay, so for different segment of people there might be different kind of liabilities. So here we need to understand that which is a good liability and which is a bad liability, and we have to be very focused on this particular front, because when we are talking about savings and expenditure, so expenditure, major chunk of expenditure comes either in these form, either it will be these kind of liabilities, okay, or we are meeting our expenses by paying it through credit card. When I talk about credit card is one of the most expensive way of meeting your expenses, okay, if it is not managed in the right manner. Credit card सब use करते हैं, most of us generally uses, okay, probably it might be if I am talking about the newer generation, जो नए लोग हैं, credit card is a must for them, ठीक है, रीजन ये क्योंकि वो 30 से 50 दिन का आपको फ्री क्रेडिट पीरियड देता है, बट वो फ्री क्रेडिट पीरियड के बाद इफ यू आर नॉट पेइंग ऑन टाइम जो आपका अमाउंट ड्यू होता है, ठीक है, then the interest charge is really high. It ranges from 36% to 48% in some cases, and probably if you are not paying on time and if there is a delay, there is a penalty also. It hampers your credit score also. So it is really important that you manage all such liabilities in the best manner. So credit card, if you are having, it is really important that you pay your amount due on the due date. Don't just pay the minimum amount due, because minimum amount due is making you only basically helping you out to better your credit score, in the sense that you have not defaulted, okay, but if you are not paying on that particular amount, the interest starts creeping in, okay, and you get into this debt trap. When I'm talking about home loan is one of the best loans which is considered. आज के समय में this is the best time if someone is looking for home loan. Probably SBI is giving at 6.5% a 20-year, 25-year loan. Okay, so why home loan is considered to be a best loan? Reason being it is the lowest cost, longest tenor, and the third part is the most important thing, you are consuming it. It is helping you to reduce some kind of cost in the form of rent which you used to pay, okay, and also it is adding as an asset to your kitty. So it is not a depreciating asset. Probably when I'm talking about any other loan, okay, like car loan or something, it neither it cannot be a good, neither it cannot be a bad liability, but it would be somewhere between. But reason why, that reason ये है कि car loan में you are taking loan for something which is a depreciating asset. ठीक है, तो डिप्रिशिएटिंग असेट जिसमें आपको आपका मेंटेनेंस का खर्चा है, आपको पेट्रोल का खर्चा है. ओके, सो यू आर ऑनबोर्डिंग सच एन असेट for yourself by taking a loan which is actually not benefiting you, it is increasing your expenses. Similarly, good liabilities can be considered an education loan. Education loan, why? Reason being that आप education loan लेके आगे there is a scope of getting a better income. That's why you are taking this particular loan for 2 years, 3 years, and probably the objective is that you can upgrade yourself, upskill yourself, and then you are going to contribute to the society, to the nation, or to the family, and to yourself as well. So that is why it is really important to understand your debt management along with your savings attitude. Going forward, the second most important thing for any one of us is to park an emergency fund. So when we are talking about creating an emergency fund, why? So the biggest reason is why in the current scenario, job loss or layoff is something really very common. Okay, कल किसी ने नहीं देखा है. सबसे पहला ये चीज जान लीजिए कि आज के समय में परमानेंट जो जॉब हुआ करता था, दैट इज नॉट समथिंग आज वैसा सिनेरियो है. कल आपको कंपनी आके एक नोटिस दे सकती है कि 1 महीने बाद आपकी नौकरी चली गई, and you would be hearing such kind of news in because of this COVID situation. या आपका salary का reduction हो गया. So this job thing is also not secure. Okay, you are having it, enjoy it. Okay, hopefully things will be not that bad going ahead for any one of us. But this emergency fund is for such a situation in case if something comes up. Okay, like medical emergency. No one knows that I'm sitting here if something happens to me tomorrow, and there is a hefty amount of amount which is required to, for my healthcare and all those things. Then where it would come from? Either you will have to sell some asset or whatever you will have to do. Savings is one thing, but emergency corpus is something where you will have to put it aside. Okay, and you don't expect anything on that particular front. That is something which you have to use for your emergency. Sometimes it is unplanned, sometimes non-negotiable expenses. Someone in the family might require it. There is suddenly something has come up where you have to fund that particular requirement. So that's why I'm saying कि emergency fund is a sacrosanct thing, and सबको आज के समय में ये corpus रहना चाहिए. How much? Generally बोला जाता है कि 6 months of income is sufficient. Why 6 months of income? Because income generally takes care of your expenses. Income आपके expense का care करता है, and income से आप हर प्रकार का expense meet करते हो. तो अगर income ज्यादा नहीं होगी तो income से कम expense होता है most of the cases. ठीक है? And when I am talking about the income and which is taking care of your expenses, expenses come in the form of EMI, your kids' school fees, khana pina, your general budget and everything. Okay, so whatever might be your income or the total expense of that particular month, you should at least have 6 times of that particular kept in your savings bank account or a liquid fund. So why savings bank account? Probably here you can get a 2.75 to 3.5% rate of interest. That money is there, and that money you are not supposed to touch until unless there is a very bad situation, and until unless there is an emergency or kind of thing. Okay. Similarly, you can park this particular fund in liquid funds, which is basically a mutual fund category, wherein you would get a slightly higher return compared with what you will be getting in savings bank account. It would range from 4 to 5%. The thing is that they generally invest in high safety and better kind of bonds and securities, which is for lower tenor of it. That is a technical part, but what I am trying to say is that either you save it in your savings account or either you save it in your liquid fund. But probably saving in savings account will give you a 3% average return, vis-a-vis saving in liquid fund might give you a 4 to 5% ka return. So here you are getting a higher rate of return. That's the only thing. Going forward, term insurance is something everyone should have. As I was speaking that buy a term insurance plan. So when I'm talking about insurance, generally the insurance is the most missold product in the in India, if you would say. ये सबसे गलत तरीके से बेचा हुआ प्रोडक्ट है. Reason why is, first let's go through do's and don'ts of life insurance. Okay, so first let us see do's. Why nobody thinks about your family as much as you do. Why you require a life insurance? Life insurance is required because in case of any contingency or anything happens to the main family earner, it should not be that the family is in a situation that they are not able to manage the finances of their everything does not go haywire. मतलब सडनली अगर कोई फैमिली इनकम जो अर्न करता है घर में, सबसे ज्यादा कमाने वाला है, जो सबसे ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट करा, अगर वो नहीं होता है तो फैमिली चरमरा ना जाए. ठीक है, क्यों? क्योंकि कैश फ्लो की आवश्यकता बहुत जरूरी होती है एक फैमिली को रन करने के लिए. ठीक है, for whom? For spouse, kids and parents. This is for whom? This is not for me. This is probably for my people who are dependent on me. Either it is my wife, my kids, or my parents. When? So as soon as someone is dependent on you, you are supposed to take a life insurance policy. So when I'm talking about dependent, it means suppose I am a student. Okay, I have been studying, and after my MBA or something, I get a job. So probably it is the right time that you take up a life insurance. Probably it might be possible that your parents might not be dependent on you right now, but 5 years down the line they might be dependent. Or don't take it immediately, wait for 2 3 4 years till the time you feel that there are much responsibility on you, then definitely take it. It will be help for your family. Either it would be your parents, kids, or your spouse. How much should take care of your all future expenses and goal. Just understand that how much insurance you require. Why it is important is that if I am not here today, आज मैं अगर नहीं हूं तो इसका मतलब सिर्फ आज मेरा इम्पैक्ट नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा कल, अगले 5 साल, अगले 10 साल मेरा इम्पैक्ट होता है मेरे नहीं रहने से. तो how you are able to manage it is something which a good corpus of life insurance some insured will give to you. अगर I just want to remind every one of you that people, when someone is not there, okay, people might feel the pain for 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months, but in a span of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they would come to the terms and they will agree, okay, that person is no more there. Now the thing is that I have to manage, or the family has to manage the things at their own. So they will take the control of all the things, whether cash flow management, how to expend it, and all those things in their own hand. Till the time someone was there, they were taking care of. But if they are not there, it will be taken care by the other head of the family. Might be the spouse, or might be the kid, whoever it may be. Okay. So, but to take that particular step forward, they need some stopgap arrangement. कोई एक arrangement चाहिए जिसमें उनके पास एक decent corpus है जो वो settle कर सके. Immediately अगर कुछ होता है, it really becomes really difficult for anyone to settle down. So basically that corpus is required not for immediate purpose. It is obviously for your regular expenses, okay, your kids' future education, how your spouse might survive going ahead. So I am just giving an example. अगर मैं 10 लाख रुपए कमा रहा हूँ और अगर मैं नहीं रहता हूँ, so and मेरा इंश्योरेंस इज टू द ट्यून ऑफ 1.5 करोड़, अगर वो 1.5 करोड़ मेरे पास आता है, 50 लाख का मेरा घर का लोन है, प्रॉब्ली वो 1.5 करोड़ से 50 लाख का एक लाइबिलिटी चल जाएगा. तो वो 10 लाख में से जो मेरा EMI जाता था, okay, that gets reduced. Now I have 1 crore left with my family. That particular 1 crore can be invested somewhere which can give a return of 7 to 8%. करोड़ रुपया में से 7 से 8 लाख रुपया आ गया तो मेरे घर का काम चल जाएगा. It would take care of all my expenses most likely. ठीक है, वो पैसा बढ़ेगा. At that time, by 10 years, 15 years, when my daughter is supposed to go to an engineering college, that money can be used at that particular time. Probably वो 1 करोड़ बढ़ के, मान लीजिए कोई जो भी कॉर्पस होता है, उसमें से 35-40 लाख रुपया मैं अपनी बेटी के मेरी बेटी के एजुकेशन में खर्चा हो सकता है. So you have to think from that perspective. So that is why insurance is important. What type of insurance? Go for term insurance. Never go for endowment plan or money plan or money back policy, whole life thing. Those are all investments product. Okay, and insurance cannot be investment. Insurance is completely covering your risk. इंश्योरेंस आपके रिस्क को कवर करता है, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ टर्म इंश्योरेंस लेना इंपॉर्टेंट है. इंडिया में हमारे पेरेंट्स ने 5 लाख का इंश्योरेंस लिया. डू यू थिंक 5 लाख वाज सफिशिएंट to take care of any expenses if something would have happened to them? I don't think so. 2 lakh who used to be the, definitely they will get something at maturity, but that is investments. That is not insurance. Another more important thing is what generally there is a thumb rule that whatever is your annual income, you have to take 10 times of that particular amount as your cover. अगर आपका 10 लाख as I told you, तो at least आप 1 करोड़ से 1.5 करोड़ तक का आपको इंश्योरेंस होना चाहिए. Moving forward, this is just a life cycle of anyone. So if you would see, I have marked blue arrow. So this is the period where you actually required life insurance the maximum. So probably a lot of people take a life insurance for 45 years. If I am a 30-year-old guy and I am taking a 45-year insurance, what is the benefit of insurance for my family at the age of 75? It would probably rather that it is better that I do some kind of investment and create a corpus. Most important thing for insurance, अगर मैं life insurance की बात करूं तो वो आपके working life के लिए requirement होता है. जब आपकी जिम्मेवारी बढ़ती है, when I get into responsibility, as I told you, when you add dependents on you, wife, kids, parents, okay, and it ends by the time your responsibility gets diluted. In the sense कि सबसे ज्यादा मुझे जरूरत कब होगी इंश्योरेंस की? 35, 45, 50, 55, 60 साल तक. रीजन बीइंग कि उस समय मेरा काफी सारा लायबिलिटी होगा. ठीक है, मैं घर खरीद रहा हूँ, मेरे बच्चे स्कूल जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, और बाकी काफी सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है मेरी. तो मेरा खर्चा का जो पीक होता है वो 40, 45, 50, 55 साल के दौरान रहेगा. उसके बाद जब मैंने अपना दायित्व निर्वाह कर दिया, I have basically if I have done through all my responsibilities, my kids have gone to college. So I'm again giving an example. I am 37 years old. Okay, my daughter is 6 years old. By what time she will be going to her graduation? At the age of 18. So I have 12 years. So probably after that she might be doing a post graduation. Add another 3 to 4 years. So 15 years. Okay. So probably from 37 to next 15 years till I am 52 years. Okay. My major chunk of requirement will be that, so that I can take care of any unfortunate situation for my daughter, so that her education does not get interrupted, her way of lifestyle does not get interrupted. It's the same for my family and other things. Okay, I am in a better situation to pay off my loan if I am not there or something. So that's why I'm saying कि आपको लाइफ इंश्योरेंस जो है आपके वर्किंग लाइफ के लिए चाहिए. सो कोई जो 25 साल का बंदा है वो 45 साल के लिए लेता है, तो चलिए मान के चलिए 70 साल तक के लिए आया चलेगा. बट जो 40 साल का बंदा है उसको अगर आप 40 साल का इंश्योरेंस देते हैं, दैट इज नॉट राइट. सो यू हैव टू डिफाइन एट व्हाट एज यू आर एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली गो फॉर अ टेनर ऑफ द इंश्योरेंस व्हिच माइट रेंज फ्रॉम 25 years to 35 years generally. If someone is in the range of 30 to 40 years, they should generally go for 35 to 25 years of range. Another slide for all of you. There is just to showcase that what are the different myths about insurance. Someone says, I am still young, I don't need to think about life insurance yet. Being young does not make sense. Okay, uncertainty can come anytime, and if any one of your family members is dependent on you, you are doing injustice to that person. Secondly, if you are young, it is good that you take the policy now, because as you become old, there is an increase in price of the premium. Second myth, my employer and my sponsor is giving an insurance. So probably your employer might give 2 times, 3 times, 5 times of your annual income as a part of insurance. What about rest of the amount? If And just imagine tomorrow you're not in a job, you are in a transition phase, you are moving from one company to another company, and there is a break at your end. Umesh, what I would do, I would take this particular thing at the end of the session. Okay, I would definitely come to that particular front. So as far as this particular as I was talking about the Mythbuster, uh, as I told you that again, employer might not take it sufficiently. Okay, reason being that there are different requirements. Okay, as I told you, it has to be 10 to 15 times of your salary. So look at that particular thing, that where is the gap. And as I am suggesting, that if there is a layoff, and if you are moving from one job to another job, and there is something happens to you between that, who will take responsibility at that particular time? Who is going to take care of your such requirement? So having a separate life insurance is really, really important. Another is, settling a life insurance claim is very difficult. I just thought that I will put a claim settlement ratio, which is basically issued by the IRDA. This is a claim settlement ratio for 2018-19. So LIC has a claim settlement ratio of 97.79. What is claim settlement ratio? Claim settlement ratio is basically कि इतना क्लेम लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के पास आया, उसमें 100 में से उन्होंने इतना सेटल किया, बाकी नहीं सेटल किया. ठीक है. So what I'm trying to show is, there are n number of companies in the current scenario who are doing really good. I'm just giving an example. Max Life 98.74, HDFC Life Insurance 99.04%, Tata AIA that is also kind of 99%. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that that notion that settlement does not happen is ये पुरानी बात हो गई. आज के डेट में most of the claims get settled unless there is something dicey about your claim. In the sense, किसी तरीके का अगर आपने कोई चीज छिपाई है, अगर आपने सही तरीके से disclose नहीं किया है, then it might be a problem for you. Again, I thought I would showcase you how much life insurance I need. So probably, in case if you are in the range of 20 to 30 years, at least 15 times of your annual income should be the life cover. Similarly, 31 to 40 years, 14 times of life cover. 41 to 45 years, at least 12 times. 46 to 50, 10 times. So as you go upward, the requirement reduces, because as I told you, your actual requirement of life insurance gets reduced as you're moving towards your retirement age. Similarly, I also wanted to showcase that the younger you take the insurance policy, the lower the premium will be. Just look at someone who is a 25-year-old male or female. So male, if I'm talking about a male, he has to pay 9,900 rupees as a premium for a 40-year plan. Okay, this is a one cover, and this is for HDFC life insurance. Similarly, someone who is a 40-year-old guy, and he has to pay just double the amount of 9,000 or 10,000 rupees for just 25 years of cover. If that covers goes to 40 years, okay, if he intends to take for 40 years, then probably that 18,000 would reach to 30,000. So just imagine the kind of difference it makes if you are not taking the insurance at the right age. So see how much you have missed out on that particular, if you have not taken that insurance right now. The fourth point is with respect to your health insurance. Okay, this is also a very important thing when we are talking about our financial well-being, because this is something which is preparing you for emergencies and all those things, for your present as well as for your future. Why health insurance makes sense? Reason one, rising medical costs, uncertain hospital bills, expensive quality of healthcare and services. What are the benefits? Family health insurance are at a lesser premium, so you can opt for a family floater plan. It's not an individual plan. So family floater plan can cover 2 adult, 2 kids, 2 adult, 2 adult, 1 kid. So there are various combinations depending upon what is the size of your family. Generally, it goes to 2 adult plus 3 kids. And obviously, there is something good about it, is that it has a tax benefit also. So whatever you would be paying as a premium, that would be tax exempt in the sense that gets deducted from your insurance, your gross salary, sorry. And what are the different types of insurance? Health insurance is there, mediclaim is there, critical illness there are special disease insurance currently, cancer care, heart ailment disease, diabetic care, and all those things. Reason being that these are the lifestyle diseases which are coming up. So in case if you want to get yourself covered for a specific disease, because it is really important that all the expenses get covered in your insurance when you are going for it. Okay. So just a quote from insurance, health insurance perspective, everyone should have health insurance. I say everyone should have health care. I'm not selling insurance. So here what the person is trying to say is it is more with respect to your health care rather than insuring something for you. Why health insurance is important? You can yourself see there are different lifestyle diseases because of which people are dying in India. Cardiovascular diseases are there, respiratory diseases. This COVID has come to a surprise to all of us. Okay, it is a must for us to have a health insurance in the current scenario, because if you look at the bills which are being shared, okay, sometimes it is really high, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. So if suppose in a family there are 3 family members and all the 3 members get this COVID, becomes COVID positive or something, okay, then the expenses might come to 15 lakh or 20 lakhs. So are you prepared for that? How good you are prepared on that particular fund? So probably people say, नहीं मेरा health insurance मेरे company की तरफ से है. Company generally give 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Would 3 or 5 lakhs be sufficient for you? I don't think so. And again I am putting this, reiterating the point कि अगर आपका lay off हो जाता है या अगर आप job change कर रहे हो और transit phase में हो, then how you will manage this situation if something comes like this? You have to be prepared for this particular thing. Another thing which is really important is the health services inflation. The inflation for health services is really going up. You can yourself see this is a graph from Jan 15 to April 19. It's just moving up. This red line is your health products and your health services. The health services inflation is in the range of 9.5% in India, vis-a-vis the normal inflation, which is in the tune of 5.5% to 6%. So just imagine कि health care का जो cost है वो हर साल 10% के rate से बढ़ रहा है. Are you prepared to take care of it? If not, then it is right to go ahead and take an insurance. And again, as I told you, the in health insurance, the premium is generally for ranges in a slab of 5 years. But still, the good part is there's a no claim bonus benefit which gets added to your sum insured in case if you're not claimed. So the earlier you get into the thing, okay, the more benefit you will be reaping in the future. So I've just put down some figures for you to understand, just giving an example. For someone who is 26 years old and he is married, for a 20 lakh cover, he will require 15,149 rupees. Someone who is 36 years old would require 20 lakh cover with 23,000 rupees, which will include himself as well as kid. 25,000 ka you are getting a tax benefit for yourself and your spouse. For your parents, you give an additional 25,000 ka benefit. So why don't you go? So why shouldn't we go and take that particular benefit? It is at least it is getting some tax exemption also. It should not be for tax savings. It is more with respect to taking care of your health. So someone who is at an age of 55 or 56, the insurance premium shoots up significantly. For a couple in the age of 56, it will cost them for a 20 lakh cover, it will cost them 54,000 rupees. And someone who is 66 years of age, it will cost them 1,27,000 rupees. So it is always better to take it at an earlier stage. Okay, definitely the premiums are going to change, but the good part is because of this no claim bonus, your sum assured gets increased. Fifth point is your generally it is about your asset class. when I'm talking about asset class, you have to have it is told that you should have different eggs in different basket. You should not put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so when I'm talking about different asset, diversifying your investment in different asset class, it is with more with that perspective, but it has to be also aligned with your risk profile. आपका risk profile, आप कितना appetite रखते हैं, आप में कितनी क्षमता है कि आप कोई किसी प्रकार का नुकसान झेल सके, ठीक है। अगर आप इक्विटी में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं तो उसकी संभावना है, पोटेंशियल गेन उसका बहुत ज्यादा है, वो 15%, 20%, 25% भी इंक्रीज कर सकता है, मगर जब गिरता है तो वो 30% का भी नुकसान हो सकता है। तो आप में कितनी रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेबिलिटी है, सो दैट यू कैन मैनेज दैट। मान लो मैं कंजर्वेटिव हूँ, मुझे नुकसान नहीं चाहिए, आई डोंट वांट एनी रिडक्शन, आई वांट अ स्टेबल इनकम, सो प्रोबब्ली आई विल गो एंड इन्वेस्ट समथिंग इन अ fixed income or debt kind of an instrument. But someone who is looking for huge potential return, okay, they should go and invest in equity. That's why I have marked this particular graph with different kind of asset class, okay, on risk as well as return parameter. रिस्क नीचे है, जैसे जैसे आगे जाते जा रहा है रिस्क बढ़ते जा रहा है, जैसे जैसे ऊपर जा रहा है रिटर्न बढ़ते जा रहा है। तो अगर आप देखोगे तो सबसे कम रिटर्न और सबसे कम रिस्क किसमें है? अगर आप कैश रखते हो तो जीरो रिस्क है, जीरो रिटर्न है, ठीक है। आप अगर उसको जाके सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट में डाल देते हो तो रिटर्न 2.5 या 3% का है, बट सेफ्टी है, ठीक है। आप फिर आगे जाके उसको मान लो गोल्ड में डाल देते हो या रियल एस्टेट में डालते हो तो थोड़ा रिस्क बढ़ सकता है, बट फिर भी गोल्ड और रियल एसेट इज अ मोर ऑफ अ फिजिकल एसेट। तो ये आपको रिटर्न बहुत नहीं देगा, बट आपको स्टेबिलिटी मान लीजिए देगा। बट आपको अगर रिटर्न ज्यादा चाहिए तो अगेन एज यू कैन फाइंड इक्विटी इज ऑन अ हायर साइड, सो आपको रिटर्न भी देता है, वो आपको ऑब्वियसली विद सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ रिस्क। एंड it is really important that you need to have an asset allocation, okay, at different lifestyle, at different life stage. So generally it is told that whatever is your age, okay, minus 100 should be your equity allocation. Why equity allocation? Equity अगर long term में है वो आपको long term में अच्छा रिटर्न देने की संभावना रखता है। So when you are looking at your life stage, if you are at the age of 30 years, probably you can put 65 to 70% of your corpus of your investment in equity, vis-a-vis putting your money in fixed income, which would be giving a lower return. So it is a risk reward trade-off. Okay, this is something which I can take up in a different session, but understand that in life stages you need to have different allocation, and thumb rule, as I told you, is generally 100 minus your age should be your equity allocation. Rest 30% can go to debt as it increases. So someone who is a 60-year person, 100 minus 6 in the sense 40 रुपया उसका इक्विटी में होना चाहिए और 60 रुपया उसका एटलीस्ट डेट में होना चाहिए, ठीक है, ताकि डेट आपको स्टेबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करता है, सेफ्टी प्रोवाइड करता है। As I told that there's a saying that an asset allocation plan is based on your personal circumstances, goal, time horizon, and need and willingness to take risk. So that is why I have put this. All these things come into a life stage. Okay, your circumstances, your environment, what might be your goal, short term, long term, what is your time horizon. If I have a longer time horizon, equity is the best option. If I have a shorter time horizon, debt is the best option. तो ये सारे चीज आपको देखने पड़ेंगे जब when you are looking to invest in different asset classes. Taking forward in this asset thing, you need to understand that inflation is our biggest enemy. Okay, it eats up your savings and investments, and if your investment is not giving a return more than inflation, then that investment is not a great investment. Okay, then you are losing your money. So currently, if just giving an example, कोई अगर अपना पैसा SBI के FD में रखता है, एक साल का FD is in the range of I think so 4.5-5%, और आज का इन्फ्लेशन 5% है, then you are losing on that particular front. Always remember that there is a real rate of interest. आप real rate of interest पे ही बेनिफिट आपका होता है, इन द सेंस हाउ टू कैलकुलेट रियल रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. इन्फ्लेशन इज 4% and your earning is 5%. So this portion of your return is getting subtracted by inflation. So this is what your actual return is. This is your real return. And inflation has been moving on and on. Okay, and in India, if you look at it, it has been in the range of 6.5 to 7%. You can yourself have a look at it, that a liter of petrol used to cost around 10 rupees. About 30 years back, it is costing around 75 to 80 rupees currently, which means 7.5% के दर से वो हर साल बढ़ रहा है. Similarly goes for the आटा. हम रोटी बनाने के लिए जो यूज करते हैं, वो 5 रुपया किलो मिलता था, आज के दिन में 38 रुपया से 40 रुपया मिलता है. इट इज कॉस्टिंग 38 to 40 rupees. Again 7%, 7.5% का inflation. So we need to be understanding this particular one, that inflation is real enemy of all our investments. So I just thought to put a very funny line about inflation. It says inflation is when you pay $15 for the $10 haircut you used to get for $5 when you had hair. So I think people should get this particular joke on inflation. Moving forward, again, this is normal inflation, but probably what I'm not talking about is a lifestyle inflation. Okay, this is something which has come after we have started earning decent amount of money. Okay, India में भी एक तबका है जो अब comfortably अच्छा कमाता है. Obviously there are scenarios who are not really earning well, but if I'm talking about a middle class or someone, they are earning decently. And what has happened because of it, the thing what has happened because of it is कि आज हम शिलेदर या खादिम का जूता नहीं पहनते हैं. ठीक है, आज we prefer to wear a हश पपीज ब्रांड. ओके, और या मैं हायर ब्रांड की तरफ जाता हूँ. मैं 500 या 600 का भी जूता खरीद सकता हूँ, which will having the same lifestyle, but I prefer having the better brand because it gives me recognition. There is peer pressure. Okay, there is a status symbol. Okay, there is a lifestyle which I need to maintain, for which these things are important. Okay, similarly, it goes for restaurant. I don't remember that in my whole life I ever had gone with my parents for restauranting. हमको आज तक याद नहीं है कि हम होटल या किसी रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाने गए हो. इक्का दुक्का बार गए हो तो it would have been more with respect to डोसा खाने चले गए या something like that. But currently my situation is, before getting into this COVID thing, we also used to go and every weekend we used to go and we used to spend 1,000 rupees in restauranting and everything, because this is our lifestyle. We feel it is important. So and lifestyle inflation is in the range of 9 to 10%. अगर normal inflation 4 से 5% है, lifestyle inflation is 9 to 10% in our life. So just understand this particular thing, that you have to make your investment in such a way so that you get the best out of it, and it is actually beating the inflation. Then only you will make money. The taxes are another second enemy for any of our investment. So in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. Taxes is something you have to pay, and as your income increases, your taxes also goes on. Okay, so someone who is in the highest tax slab earning more than 1 crore, he's almost paying 44 to 45% of tax in the current scenario. I'm talking about income tax. So what we can do, we should understand which kind of asset we should invest in also, where there can be it should be most tax efficient way of investing. Okay, so just keep this also in mind. This is not very important, but this also needs to be kept in mind when you are looking to do some investments. Now talking about asset, fixed income or debt is one of the assets wherein when we talk in normal parlance, हम जब normal भाषा में बात करते हैं तो हम deposit की बात करते हैं. तो fixed income is basically deposit or your this debt, if you would say. Why fixed income is generally considered to be good or has been there since ages, reason being that it provides better safety compared with other asset classes. It is less volatile. The returns are less volatile, if you would say. ठीक है, आपको एक सेट इंटरेस्ट रेट या मिल रहा है 2 साल 5 साल 10 साल 15 साल के लिए, ठीक है, और उसमें कोई उतार चढ़ाव नहीं है, एंड देयर इज सम बिट ऑफ सेफ्टी, किसी प्रकार का गारंटी रहता है कि आपको प्रिंसिपल वापस मिलेगा. There are unsecured things also, but I'm just giving the more common thing. But what is not good about fixed income is that the impact of inflation is really high on this. As I told you, अगर आपका पैसा फिक्स्ड इनकम में है, कोई फिक्स डिपॉजिट में जो 4.5-5% का रिटर्न दे रहा है और आज 5-6% का इन्फ्लेशन है, how you will be able to manage your expenses going forward? It would be really difficult. Most of the time it is a negative real rate of return which comes to you if you are invested in normal FD and all. So that and I just thought that I will share 2 charts. This the first chart, this chart is for a US 10-year bond, and this is an Indian 10-year bond paper. So what I wanted to showcase you is going ahead interest rate is bound to come down. ये इंडिया का चार्ट है 1996 से, जब रेट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का 10 साल का पेपर 14.5-15% का हुआ करता था, और आज उस गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया पेपर का इंटरेस्ट जो है वो 6% पे है. 14% से 6% हैज कम इनटू लास्ट 25 years. I just wanted to showcase this thing for US. US में 1981 में 15% का रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हुआ करता था फॉर अ 10-year बॉन्ड पेपर. 10-year bond paper used to be at 15% in 1981 in US. Now, in the current scenario, the 10-year paper is 0.6%, less than 1%. This has happened in a span of 40 years. Okay, I'm not saying that probably in next 15 years India might go to 0.5% or 1%, but in next 40 years, 50 years, just understand this is going to be the scenario. So if you are looking for an investment for next 20, if you are thinking that there is a life expectancy concept, if you are going to survive for next 30, 40 years, you have to think about which kind of instrument you are going to put your money into. So whether it would be fixed debt or equity, that has to be determined by you, and obviously depending upon your risk appetite and your age. But to give one more example, everyone would be investing in PPF. Okay, PPF is the best retirement products, and it has been there for ages, and still it remains to be. But do you know that in 1998 the rate of interest for PPF was 12%, and it has come down to 7.1%. 7.9% to 7.1%, so it happened in the month of April only. So just imagine if it in a span of this 22 years, if the rate of interest has come down by around 5%, in next 40 years, what would it might be? It might come to 1%, 2% also, and probably going forward for next 20 years might come down to 4 to 5%. So you have to be prepared enough to get yourself invested in such an asset which can generate higher return, which can take care of your inflation. Real estate, another favorite asset class. Okay, so generally people in India is more prone to investing in physical asset class rather than financial asset class. तो जब मैं physical asset class की बात करता हूँ, तो physical asset class is real estate, gold. These are physical, which you can see. आप देख सकते हो, ठीक है. But financial is something like fixed deposit or equity, mutual fund, or whatever you can call, okay, which is not seen, it grows at but probably where it gets invested in different basically it gets invested in economy. Okay, and if economy goes well, then definitely your investments also supposed to go well. As far as real estate is concerned, it is a good option, okay, for someone who is looking for consumption purpose. मैं घर खरीद रहा हूँ अपने consumption के लिए, then it is a right thing. Okay, you can definitely look at it. But just understand, real estate is very expensive. It is not a small amount of investment. Okay, equity you can invest 5,000 rupees. FD आपने 5,000 का भी कर दिया. But if you're going for a real estate investment, it will cost a bomb to you. It will not be something which will uh, be really less expensive kind of thing. So outstretch your financial to own a piece of real estate. It actually is very expensive. Liquidity related problem. It is one of the most illiquid asset. आज आप अगर अपना फ्लैट घर जमीन बेचना चाहोगे ना, आज आप चाहोगे कि if you require money in 1 month time or 2 months time or 5 months time, you will have to start preparing to liquidate in last 1 year. Because if you start thinking of liquidating it now, अगर आप आज से बेचना शुरू करना चाहोगे तो ये 6 महीने साल भर 2 साल बाद बिकेगा, and you don't know कि कब बिकेगा. So liquidity is a major contest. There is a maintenance cost of real estate. आप प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स पे करते हो, रजिस्ट्रेशन टैक्स पे करते हो, आपने अगर फ्लैट खरीदा है तो उसका मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट लगता है, ठीक है, एवरीथिंग इज देयर. So you have to, it is definitely an asset, but probably it is something which always you have to expand into. Under unregulated market, artificial pricing, things have changed after RERA has come into action, but there are n number of cases where the investors have got trashed like anything. People have not got possession. ठीक है, there is stagnation, growth ही नहीं हो रहा है. There are a lot of things which is not being the unsold inventory in large cities. I'm just showcasing you in the another slide. Real estate in India, the real estate yield, the return on your real estate is generally 2% to 2.5%. How to 2.5%? Just imagine if suppose I have taken a flat in Bangalore. I'm just giving a hypothetical example for which I am paying a EMI as well. Is it for my investment? I consider it as for investment. I have my another house also where I am staying, and there is another house which I have taken. So on that 1 crore, I am paying some bit of interest on a yearly basis. 7 से 8% का interest मिल रहा है. If I'm paying 7% of interest, that is there. And in case if I rent it at a 50,000 thing also, so on a yearly basis I will get how much? 6 lakh rupees. 6 lakh rupees is 6% on 1 crore, and if I'm paying 7% as a loan, as an interest, then where I am earning? I'm not earning if I'm taking it in the form of loan. Sure. This is one scenario. Assume a scenario जहाँ पे मैंने पूरा 1 करोड़ अपने पैसा देके खरीदा, ठीक है. तो वहां पे कितना मिल रहा है मुझे? 50,000 रुपीज पर मंथ कम्स टू 6 लाख रुपीज. 6 लाख रुपए में से क्या बोलते हैं, there is a maintenance cost also which I have to pay 10,000 rupees per month. वहां से 1,20,000 घट गया, 4,80,000 बचा. 4,80,000 बचा, and if suppose I have done some kind of interior, ठीक है, मैंने पेंटिंग कराई, ये कराया, और उसको मैं एमोटाइज करता हूँ, मैं 10 साल में उसको स्प्रेड कर देता हूँ. तो वो मान लो मैंने 10 लाख रुपया खर्चा किया, ये 1 लाख रुपया अगर स्प्रेड हो गया तो उसमें से फिर मेरा 1 लाख रुपया हर साल का निकल गया, ठीक. तो मैं 6 लाख कमा रहा हूँ, उसमें 2.5 से 3 लाख is something which I have to pay as an expense. So how much I am getting back? It might be 3.5 lakh rupees. I'm talking 3.5 lakh or 4 lakh rupees in the best case scenario. That is not the case in India. Probably I might not get a 50,000 rent for my 1 crore thing, because in Bangalore the actual rent is in the tune of 35 to 40,000 for a 1 crore building with a 2 BHK thing. So that's why I'm saying the actual yield comes to the tune of 2.5%, and in some places it is 1.5% also. So real estate is not a great investment. You can definitely opt it as an investment if you're doing it for your own consumption, if you're having your own house or using it as a commercial property for your own self. The most popular asset in the current scenario is gold. ठीक है, सब gold की बात कर रहे हैं, and gold has smashed all records. Currently, it is quoting at 53,000 per 10 gram. But let me give a perspective to you. Okay, gold, with respect to gold, is that gold does not grow. Okay, neither it gives dividend. So an ounce of gold will remain an ounce till the end when you are looking to move on. So it does not grow. Obviously, it is best for emotional and lifestyle related use, because that has we had ingrained in India कि हमको बेटी को गिफ्ट देना है, गहना का or we or we wear it as an ornament and all those things. That is definitely there, that can obviously be there. But the best part about gold is that when other market does not do well, okay, gold does well. It is considered as an inflation of hedge. It is also considered as an hedge to bad markets. So what I wanted to showcase is इंडिया में गोल्ड का दाम बहुत बड़ा है. गोल्ड का दाम इंडिया में इसलिए बढ़ा है क्योंकि इंडिया का रुपी डिप्रिशिएट किया है. In real terms, if I'm looking at the gold prices, this is the history for last 100 years. What it is marked in yellow, and there are 3 times when gold has rallied significantly. Okay, so last 10 साल में if I would see, September 2011 में gold was in the range of $1900 per 10 gram. ठीक है. Currently it is in the range of around $2000. So in 9 years it is at the same level when I am talking about international prices. But what has happened? In these 9 years, probably our rupee has depreciated significantly. हमारा रुपी जो था, मान लो उस समय 60 रुपए का था, 56 or 60 rupees का in the time of 2010-11. Now it is 75. So just imagine हमारा कितना रुपया depreciate कर गया है. Okay, so that is why we are seeing our gold prices to the tune of 53,000. So in real term, if I'm talking about the return of gold in last 5 years internationally, also it has done really well. Okay, but when I'm talking about for last 10 years, it has not done well. And also I thought I will showcase another this thing to you, your another graph where I have plotted Nifty जो आपका Nifty 50 जो NSE है उसका इंडेक्स का ग्रोथ और गोल्ड का ग्रोथ. दिस इज फ्रॉम 2007. सो आप ये देखिए कि जब भी काला ब्लैक इज निफ्टी एंड ब्लू इज गोल्ड, सॉरी, व्हेन जब भी निफ्टी नीचे आया है गोल्ड ने अच्छा किया है. यू जस्ट सी ऑल द रेड सर्कल्स, एंड व्हेनेवर निफ्टी गोज अप गोल्ड्स कम डाउन. ठीक है. सो जस्ट सी from 2016 to till 2019, Nifty was really doing, equity market was really doing good, gold was underperformer. Similar case with your it's a case now also. Nifty has underperformed, gold has risen significantly. So it is always considered to be hedge. So जब लोग भागते हैं ना कि मैं कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करूं, तो सेफेस्ट हेवन बोला जाता है गोल्ड है, तो गोल्ड में पैसा लगा दो. So that is why this rally has come into the gold. It might sustain, but best way to participate in gold is do some allocation. When I am talking about allocation, 100 रुपए में से आप 10% इसमें डाल सकते हो, but don't put all your 100 rupees in one thing. So अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका कुछ कॉर्पस है, if you think उसमें से कुछ परसेंटेज जाना चाहिए था, तो definitely 10%, 5, 10, 15%, whatever is your risk appetite, understand this well, and then get into it. Another equity class is obviously equity. Asset class is equity. Okay. And as I showed you the case of Nifty, equity in India in last 40 years has given a return to the tune of 15-16% annual. हर साल 15-16%. आगे चल के I'm not saying 15-16% would be the return, but at least you can expect a 10-11-12% return also going forward. So equity class is something which in long run gives very good return vis-a-vis when I'm talking about short run. So but I wanted to showcase this particular picture to you. Okay, that probably most of the investors, there was a research done by one of the international agencies in 2008 that some people who invested in 2001 and in 2008 at the peak, when they were looking at the return of the investor, the market grew by 8%, but the investor growth was only 4.5%. The reason was that investor was not sticking to the market for those many of years. The investor has an attitude to move out, hop in different investments, considering ये investment अच्छा नहीं हुआ, चलो दूसरे में जाते हैं. ये investment नहीं perform किया 3 साल 4 साल में, let us move to different. You have to stick with certain kind of stocks or certain kind of fund to see the actual return. So because of our behavioral gap, because of our attitude and behavior, हमारे अपने एटीट्यूड या हमारे व्यवहार की वजह से हम क्या करते हैं, हम अच्छा रिटर्न लूज कर देते हैं क्योंकि हम इम्पेशेंट हो जाते हैं. ठीक है. दूसरा पोस्टर अगर आप देखोगे तो ये अभी रिसेंट मार्केट के ऊपर है. 4 साल में 4 जुलाई 2014 को 25,962 वाज दी सेंसेक्स. ठीक है. 9 अगस्त को 38,024 आपका सेंसेक्स था. 4 साल में सेंसेक्स ने 25,000 से 38,000 का सफर तय किया. मगर एक सिचुएशन ऐसा भी था कि 23 मार्च को सेंसेक्स 25,981 था एंड इट वेंट टू 38,000 in next 4 months, that is 23rd July. So जो 23 मार्च को जब उसका स्टॉक मार्केट का रिटर्न, जब उसके फंड का रिटर्न 35% नीचे हो गया और उसने पैनिक करके निकाल दिया, तो what would have happened? If you would have not waited for these 4 months, you would have not seen that recovery. आज अगर मैं 4 महीने पहले की बात करूं तो निफ्टी was 35% डाउन. ओके. बट आज मैं अगर निफ्टी की बात करूं तो निफ्टी 7% डाउन. सो इट इज more with respect to having patience and staying invested. I definitely understand that there might be situations when you feel anxiety, but again understand that it is really important that if you are opted for an asset class which is for a longer tenure, you will have to stick to it for a longer tenure. You don't have to panic and move on from that. This is master of all stride. Okay, what I'm trying to say when I'm talking about diversification, this is the return of asset classes, different asset classes: equity, gold, cash, and debt. Okay, real estate is not there probably. Okay, these are all majorly financial and your gold, considering gold as one of the major chunk of investment. So from 1990 to 2020, if you would say equity is marked in your light orangish thing. Okay, gold is in yellow color, debt is in blue color, obviously cash is in green, and this is the portfolio return. This is something, if some person would have combined this thing and invested in all the assets on an equal basis. 100 रुपए में से 25 पैसा सब में लगा दिया, 25% सब में लगा दिया. So this is that particular portfolio. That is why I'm talking about asset allocation. So if you would see, कोई भी asset class अगर अच्छा करता है तो it does not do well. आप जैसे इक्विटी को देखो, 1990 से 1994 तक उसने बेस्ट रिटर्न दिया 34%, 82%, 37%. This is yearly return from basically रिटर्न फ्रॉम जनवरी टू दिसंबर. ठीक है. तो जब 5 साल उसने रिटर्न दिया तो 95 ईयर में -20% का रिटर्न दिया उसने. फिर 96 में उसने सिर्फ एक लेस देन 1% का रिटर्न दिया. बट अगेन इन 97 इट वेंट अप टू अ लेवल ऑफ 18%. So that is what I'm trying to say over here is every asset class, suppose debt in 96 98 they were among the best performer. फर्स्ट नंबर पे था, दूसरे नंबर पे था, फिर तीसरे साल एक नंबर पे था 98 में. बट अगेन इट केम डाउन. ठीक है. सो whichever asset class is there, it remains there for 3 to 5 years. Then again it is supposed to come down. The same thing happened with equity. In 2000, so in 1999 it was up, but again in 2000 2001 it came down. Gold was up in 2002 because equity was not performing. So just you also see the kind of performance of gold vis-a-vis equity. Why I'm trying to say is I want to just replicate the graph which I showcased to you. Similarly 2003 से 2007 तक equity did really well. Stock market ने बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न दिया. But 2008 it again came down. ठीक है. फिर someone अगर 2008 में लोग invested रहते या नया इन्वेस्टमेंट किया होता तो they would again gone up to अगला साल 88% का रिटर्न दिया इक्विटी में. सो इट्स अ साइकिल. सो प्रोबब्ली व्हाट यू आर सीइंग हियर इन 2018 इक्विटी वाज द वर्स्ट परफॉर्मर. ओके. Gold was on the number 2. Gold 2019 number 1, 2020 again number 1. अभी 40% है. This is till May. That is why it is not reflecting 40% return. Okay. Equity is currently not minus 20%, it is minus 7% in the current scenario. But probably gold might stay there for 1 or 2 years. I am assuming, I'm not saying, but equity will come back. In 4 months, you yourself have seen when economy will start recovering, when good news will come, virus ka vaccine aa gaya and all those things are there, then there is no stopping. Okay. Plus, there are n number of things which India as a government is doing, okay, to bring a lot of money in India, making it a Atmanirbhar thing, okay, manufacturing India. Hopefully that will work, but it will take another 10, 15, 20 years to work. That is why I'm saying that asset allocation is really important. You have to deploy different kind of, you have to be invested in different set of assets. Don't just concentrate to one set of assets. But again, lifestyle, asset allocation in the way of lifestyle is also really important. Obviously, I think I am shooting over time, but probably these slides were important for all of you who go through. That's why I would still like to continue. Start investing for retirement. Retirement is really important. Okay. Reason how people look at it is that we look at it working life as 30 to 60. We look at as a horizontal thing. Okay. Rather look at on a parallel basis. How people should look at. So that is हमको अपने नजरिए में बदलाव चाहिए. हम वर्किंग लाइफ डिफरेंट होता है और रिटायरमेंट लाइफ डिफरेंट होता है. वर्किंग लाइफ में यू आर अर्निंग मनी, रिटायरमेंट लाइफ में यू नीड मनी, सो यू नीड टू हैव डिसेंट कॉर्पस टू cater to that particular requirement and mind it, the inflation, the life expectancy is going really high. हम लोग आज के समय में ज्यादा लंबा समय तक जीवित रहते हैं. हमारा लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी 85 साल 70 इयर्स हो गया है इंडिया का. अगले 20 साल में वो 75, 80, 85 हो जाएगा. और हम लोगों को अच्छी मेडिकल फैसिलिटी, अच्छा खाना पीना, ये सब चीजों के कारण अगला 20-25 साल और जिंदा रहना पड़ रहा है. तो अगले 20-25 साल जो हम अपने रिटायरमेंट बाद जिंदा रहेंगे, आर वी एबल टू मैनेज दैट इज द क्वेश्चन. सो व्हेन यू आर प्लानिंग फॉर रिटायरमेंट, स्टार्ट अर्ली. So how you can manage it? As I told you, start early, invest in equities. If you are starting early, try to put major chunk of your money in equity. As I told you, 100 minus your age, that should be the allocation, because in long term equity gives return, okay, which will not be case in your with other asset classes. Invest regularly. That is the most important thing. If you are investing regularly, if there is a financial discipline, you will be actually doing really very good. I would definitely like to showcase in the below example. Contribute to your SIP. SIP, obviously, all of us currently knows what is systematic investment plan. Okay, if you are holding your PPF, hold it to long term. It should not be that you are just going and diluting it, taking out the money from your PPF or EPF account. And final thing, don't depend on others. So it's a simple thing. That don't simply retire from something, have something to retire for. And as far as early retirement, early investment is concerned, there are two people, Ria and Vihan. So Vihan is 35 years of age and Ria is 25 years of age. Ria 25 साल की उम्र में 10,000 का SIP शुरू करती है और वो उसका टारगेट है 60 साल, क्योंकि 60 साल में रिटायर हो जाना है. विहान भी 35 साल का है और वो 30,000 की SIP शुरू करता है, 3 times द अमाउंट ऑफ रिया. बट रिया ने 25 साल में शुरू किया, विहान ने 35 साल में शुरू किया. तो रिया 10 साल पहले शुरू किया उसने, रिया ने, ठीक है. तो 60 साल के बाद see the difference of the corpus amount. If the corpus amount grew at a rate of 12%, अगर 12% के रेट से ये इन्वेस्टमेंट ग्रो कर रहा है तो कितना पैसा होगा. तो कोई अगर 10,000 रुपया 35 साल के लिए जमा करता है 25 साल की उम्र से, ठीक है, तो वो 42,000 रुपया जमा कर रहा है. ही इज इन्वेस्टिंग 42,000 रुपीज vis-a-vis someone who is 35 years old and someone investing for 25 years, he is investing 90 लाख रुपीस. एक ने 42 लाख रुपीस करके 5.6 करोड़ का कॉर्पस बनाया और दूसरे ने 90 लाख करके 5.1 करोड़ का कॉर्पस. एक ने पैसा कम इन्वेस्ट किया और ज्यादा कॉर्पस बनाया, एक ने पैसा ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट किया और कॉर्पस भी कम बनाया. So that is the benefit of compounding, and that is the benefit of basically your what to say, starting early. Again, going to the next slide, how can this be implemented? Okay, when I'm talking about, so what are the instruments which will help you in this? So mutual fund is one of the tools which can help you reach your future goal. So what are goal of life? It has to be smart. Your goal has to be smart. Why? Retirement, corpus, children education, house purchase. So when I'm talking about smart goal, it is smart means specific. You have to be specific which goal. It has to be measurable. You can measure it. It has to be quantified. क्वान्टिफाइड इन द सेंस एक अमाउंट लगा होना चाहिए कि भाई रिटायरमेंट में मुझे 5 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए, मेरे बच्चे के लिए मुझे 30 लाख का अमाउंट चाहिए उसको ग्रेजुएशन के लिए, उसके एमबीए के लिए मुझे मान लो 50 लाख रुपए चाहिए. दिस इज मेजरेबिलिटी. अटेनेबल, क्या मैं उसको अटेन कर सकता हूं? आई हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट कि उसको मैं कैसे अटेन कर सकता हूं. रेगुलर इन्वेस्टमेंट करके, लमसम का इन्वेस्टमेंट करके, इक्विटी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करके, या डेट में इन्वेस्टमेंट करके, ठीक है, या डिफरेंट एसेट एलोकेशन का कॉम्बिनेशन करके. ऑब्वियसली आर मींस इट हैज टू बी रिलेवेंट, that whatever you are doing, it has to be relevant when you are working on your investment, and obviously it has to be time based. There has to be a time horizon when you are actually working on your goal. Power of compounding, again, as it is well said by Albert Einstein, he told compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, he who doesn't pays it. You yourself can see in the graph, if the rate of return is 8%, 10%, 12%, and 15%, 1 lakh rupees invested in a compounded basis for a 30-year period will be around 6,70,000. Around 10,10,000, which a lakh rupee becomes 10 times at 8% rate of interest in 30 years. Similarly, at 15%, 1 lakh rupees becomes 66 lakh rupees. Okay. So I'm not talking about a return of 15%, but still 8, 10 or 12% if it is achievable. If you're starting early and doing a regular investment, actually it can give you such kind of return. What do you know about mutual fund? Generally, we talk about mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Please read the offer documents carefully before investing. So it is more of a joke. So this is something which we have been hearing, and in last some time, mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign has also been doing around. For a lot of people, it has not worked well in last 3 to 4 years. Reason being that they invested in a higher market and they are not seeing the good returns, so they are feeling very inconfident that where their return would be. But my suggestion is wait for some time. It will definitely showcase the the return. Generally, what is mutual fund? Mutual fund is basically a pool of money. Just see that the cycle, the investor puts in money in a pool of thing where a fund manager is there, whose responsibility is to manage this money, invest in certain stocks or bonds or some instrument which can generate some kind of return. Okay, once the return is generated, it is given back to the investors. What are the advantages of mutual fund? It is a single solution providing exposure to a diversified portfolio with asset allocation mechanism. Mutual fund is one of the way wherein you can invest in n number of assets. So all these assets can be invested in mutual fund. There are different debt products are there. There are different equity products. There are different. If you are looking to invest in gold, there are different gold products also. If you would say, you can gradually shift your portfolio towards lower risk investment based on your age and life stage. As I told you, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, लाइफ स्टेज से एलोकेशन आप कर सकते हैं, एसेट एलोकेशन दैट कैन बी डन. रीबैलेंसिंग ऑफ पोर्टफोलियो एट सेट फ्रीक्वेंसी. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका परफॉर्मेंस नहीं अच्छा कर रहा है कोई फंड, तो वी कैन रिड्यूस दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्सपोजर. ठीक है. और जैसे हम इक्विटी में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे थे एट द एज ऑफ 45, एज ऑन वी मूव into an age of 55 or 60, we can reduce our equity exposure and we can increase our debt ka exposure. So these are the flexibility which is available in mutual fund. And it is rightly said, mutual funds have historically offered safety and diversification, and they spare you the responsibility of picking individual stock. So basically, it is helping you not to put so much of effort which would have been required if you would have been doing it directly. अगर आपको डायरेक्टली कोई चीज करना पड़े, इक्विटी खरीदना पड़े या आपको बॉन्ड में इन्वेस्ट करना है, फिक्स्ड इनकम में करना है, you have to do a lot of research. So आपके पास उतना समय, उतना बैंडविड्थ है जो आप देना चाहेंगे, rather than you can just deploy your money in mutual fund and let the fund manager do its job. What are SIPs? So basically, SIP is a method in which you can do investments which help. So basically, it is a method in which you are investing on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Okay, it gets direct. It is getting directly debited from your bank account. आपको कुछ नहीं करना है. You are supposed to sign a ECS form or NACH form, which gives an instruction to your bank to directly debit your money to the fund. Okay. Most important thing, it brings discipline. Once you get in a habit of investing regularly, okay, it inculcates a financial discipline in you. So you are bound to invest certain amount every time, and it becomes a habit for you. That is why it is really important. Rupee cost averaging at work. Okay, another thing is that generally, since it is getting invested in different time of the market, okay, so it helps you in accumulating larger amount of units in the situation when markets are down, and when the markets are high, then obviously the units which you accumulated for a longer period of time looks at a higher price, better value. So it is investing at a higher price as well as lower price, so that it averages the pricing for your units. Power of compounding works for you, because every month you are investing certain amount. So at the end of, if you are investing 10,000 rupees in every month, so at the end of the month you have invested 1,20,000 rupees, and it is also affordable to your pocket. SIP provides affordability. आप 500 का भी कर सकते हो, 10,000 का भी कर सकते हो, 50,000 का भी कर सकते हो SIP. That is why I'm saying this particular method really works for all of us. Map your investment to your goals. So probably your mutual fund can be mapped in for different kind of goals. Just I'm giving an example, very short term goal, which is 1 year, like contingency fund, emergency fund. Okay, you can park it in liquid funds, which are giving you a 4.5% return, better than your savings bank deposit. Short term, 1 to 3 years, put it in debt fund. Okay, where you are planning for a vacation, you are looking to buy a car. Okay. So probably after 3 years you will require that, but at least you are getting a return of 6.5–7% instead of parking it in something like in FD or savings bank account. Similar medium term, 3 to 6 years, invest in balanced fund, which is a hybrid of debt and liquidity. It might be for purchase of your house, again startup. You are looking to start your own venture and all those things. Long term, obviously, child education, child's marriage, your house. These are all 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years kind of a thing. Okay, these are generally long term considered, and very long term like your retirement. So you invest in small cap, mid cap, diversify different sector funds, because in long term these funds do really well. Okay, when you are comparing with it with large capital. Eighth point is becoming tax efficient. I just thought I will plot it. Most of you would be knowing that what are the different tax deduction available, but just have a look at it. If you are still considering yourself to be in the older tax regime, okay, there is new tax regime and there is old tax regime. अभी दो tax regime आ गए हैं. या तो आप नए tax regime में straight forward tax दे दीजिए जितना भी आपका slab है, जो slab में आप आते हैं, या नहीं तो अगर आप पुराना टैक्स स्लैब यूज कर रहे हैं तो ये सारे टैक्स बेनिफिट्स आपके पास अवेलेबल है. सेक्शन 80C विच मोस्ट ऑफ अस कॉमनली यूज्ड, जिसमें हम अपना ELSS, PPF, हाउसिंग का आपका प्रिंसिपल, ठीक है, ये इंश्योरेंस का प्रीमियम, एवरीथिंग गेट्स कवर्ड इनटू 80C, 80CCC. ओके, आपकी कंपनी का एम्प्लॉय पेंशन, ठीक. देन देयर इज योर सेक्शन 80E आपने अगर एजुकेशन लिया है, एजुकेशन लोन लिया है, तो फ्रॉम whatever interest is there, you on that interest it is completely tax exempt under section 80E. ठीक है. Then obviously section 80D, which is for medical insurance, is there. As I told you, 25% आपका medical insurance का benefit होता है. For spouse and yourself. For your parents, it is up to 60 years. It is another 25,000. And if the parents are above 60 years, okay, then the benefit moves up to 50,000. So total, you can take a benefit of 75,000 in your gross salary. You can reduce that. Then obviously your section 80G, that is for donation. Okay, that is also so all these things are different sections are there which you can basically use it for your in a more tax efficient way. What are the major tax benefits? Category wise, I have just thought I will plot it down. These are the major eligibility amount. Section 80C 1.5 lakh का है, 1.5 lakh rupees. Section 80CCD ये NPS में additional 50,000 का benefit आपको provide करता है, which is 1.5 to 2 lakh तक का आपको benefit मिल जाएगा. Reduction under section 80D insurance का 25,000 से 75,000 तक का है. I think I have mistakenly put only 25,000. Section 80D again eligible for donation. Section 80E interest paid on education loan. All interest paid is considered there. Section interest received on savings bank account up to 10,000, it is exempt. Section tax benefit under section 24, interest paid on home loan up to 2 lakh rupees. आपने आपका जो भी interest का amount है, that also gets exempted. So someone who has taken a loan and principal and interest combined comes to 3.5 lakh rupees. Okay, and suppose the loan is in the name of both husband and wife, both of them are earning, you can actually claim 7 lakh rupees as tax exempt from the combined salary. So also I thought I will just put it different tag to different kind of investments, like tax savings by investment in equity in debt. It is basically tax savings in fixed deposit, tax saving ELSS. For retirement, it is employment provident fund, national pension scheme is there. Repayment of home loan principal, your obviously section 80C के अंदर you can take that benefit. Government small saving schemes are there, PPF, NSC, Sukanya Samriddhi. Payment for child tuition fees is also exempt under 80C. And obviously insurance and investment. So these are all the things which comes under section 80C. आप किसी में भी अगर आप कुछ कर रहे हो, तो you can take that benefit of 80C. A lot of people never didn't knew कि आप अपना जो tuition paid fee करते हो, that is also eligible for your section 80C. So compulsorily they used to take an insurance policy, or they used to put some money in fixed deposit, which gets stuck for next 5 years. ठीक है, because you cannot take out that particular money. So आपको return भी कम मिला, probably you would have put that particular money in a better place, which would have given you higher return for those 5 years. So just understand this, how tax efficiently you can work on your income. These are again tax deduction section, more with respect to the kind of return lock-in period. So all these debt product would be lock-in. Okay, like EPF, PPF, FD, all these are having a lock-in of 5, 15 and until retirement. So probably something which is majorly kind of open is your ELSS plus, which is having the least lock-in period, which is 3 years. So this is there. And obviously, and the last thing which I thought I would let you know is make sense of existing investment. So these are all some that suppose who are starting afresh or something, and obviously for someone who has been doing and they need to do something additional, these are the action plan. 9th action plan is look at your existing investments also. So what is you do it planned and unplanned. Tax season investment. So most of us try to invest our money in tax instruments in the time between Jan, Feb, March. Don't do that. Spread it out over the year. If you think that ELSS में invest करना है, तो start putting an SIP. You never know. You don't know January में market if it is up, then you will be going at a higher this thing market level. lower is beneficial, but when I'm talking about that, if it is uncertain, then why don't you spread it? Why it has to be 1 lakh rupees at the end of January? Suddenly you have to arrange that money. For a lot of people take loan to arrange for these taxing things. एटीसी के अंदर में करना है तो लोन लेके ये करते हैं. Don't do, never do that. Okay. Fall for sale pitches from bank RMs, a lot of financial advisors. They might pitch you different kind of products, okay, which would give you guaranteed return and all those things. Never get into those things. Or if you have got into this, review that particular thing. Flavor of the season, gold is really doing good. Gold is now almost at its peak. Is it right to get into that asset class? If you have missed it, you have missed it. You can't do anything. But is it important that you get now and get and if the situation comes, अगर आपका situation ऐसा होता है कि आज आप हाई में पहुंच गए, फिर prices started coming down, तो always try to be more rational with your investment, or if you have done, try to be rational with your existing investment. And fourth, and another thing is the herd mentality. अगर सब इक्विटी में पैसा डाल रहे हैं तो इक्विटी में पैसा डाल रहे हैं. Just showcase currently there are a lot of people who are the first time people who are investing in equity. They are just putting in money. Reason being the market is going up. You don't know the reason why you are putting the money, because what I'm trying to say is fundamentals are not something which is reflective of the growth in the market. But definitely market is something which takes a lot of things in view. Okay, but my objective is don't be there is a herd mentality. Why people got stuck with some of the perpetual bonds issued by Yes Bank? सबने बोला 10% का interest मिलता है. They never saw the risk into it. I'm not getting into specific thing, but what I'm trying to say is कि 4 लोग अगर बोल रहे हैं तो वो सही नहीं हो सकता है हर बार. Okay. And last slide, I thought I would present to you, not last slide. So this is more with respect to your checking your nominations. Go and check whether in your insurance or mutual fund you have nominated someone or not. Because in case if you're not there, who is the person who is supposed to get that particular money? So you have to make things easy for the people who will be getting the benefit. To transition easy ho, so you have to take care of all of these. Cross-check bank details. Bank details has been provided in all the investments or not. Check addresses. Assign it yourself to a goal. जैसे किसी एक weekend पे बैठ जाओ कि ये काम करना है आपको, ठीक है? Put all your documents together. List बनाओ, Excel बना के put that details कि कहाँ क्या आपने invest किया है. It should not be that कि भाई if I am not there, then मेरा पूरा परिवार घूम रहा है कि इसने कहाँ क्या लगाया था. ओके, तो jokes apart, be serious on this. ठीक है, consolidate all your things and put it together. And the last thing, I thought I will put this particular thing. A lot of people hear about talk about investing, doing investment themselves. ठीक है, 100% agree with you. Do your investment yourself, but until unless you are not sure that you are capable enough to understand all those things, don't get into that, because it really hurts bad when things does not fall in place. अगर आप जानकार हैं, समझदार हैं, आपके पास समय है, तो आप कीजिए. Otherwise, as said, every Arjuna needs a Krishna. हर अर्जुन को कृष्ण की जरूरत पड़ती है. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि the professional or the Krishna can be someone, your father or a friend of yours also, ठीक है, but someone who knows, who understands the way to take you towards the financial planning. Okay, here I am propagating someone as a financial professional, like an advisor or someone who can kind of a consultant or a mentor to you, who can help you. Basically, why? Reason is that it helps you avoid investment and financial mistakes. Understand that speaking with someone who is a much professional guy, okay, it broadens the vision of yours. He would be in a far better manner to develop a clearer and bigger picture about your financial life to you. If I would have not been, if I would have been someone who had been into doing something else, if my profession would have not been into wealth management or personal finance, okay, I would have not been the right guy to suggest you. So take advice from someone who can help you in better managing your things. As I told you, someone said this, the founder of Amazon, he told to Warren Buffett, Warren, your investment strategy is so simple. Why doesn't everyone just copy you? So Warren Buffett uh, replied to him, because nobody wants to get rich slow. So if someone is advising you, someone is giving you a plan, it will not happen immediately. It will take its own sweet time. आपको समय लगेगा, कभी भी आप जब प्लान करते हैं तो वो समय लेता है, एंड एक समय के बाद जो आपका टारगेट होता है, हॉराइजन होता है, उसके बेसिस पे ये डिटरमाइन होता है. एंड अगेन एज आई टोल्ड यू, there is there are different skill set. Okay, someone can be a specialist and someone can be an expert. Okay, someone can be skilled. I am investing in equity market. I know about equity market, but probably I am not someone who will let you know at an age of 60 or 65 or 70 which asset class you should be in, which asset class gives you an investment. So you need to get to an expert who knows all these things, who knows about equity, how equity has been performing, how equity has been doing, how debt has been doing, what is the best return, what are the different best products available to you. Okay, and another main thing is, if the most important part of someone getting associated is that you will get saved. Okay, it will help you in your behavioral coaching. Okay, someone who is a professional, he will sail you through difficult times. I would not boast of ourselves, but probably in last 4 to 5 months, what we started doing for our client is, from the month of mid-February, or if you would say from the end of February till today, and going forward also, we are just sending an engagement, a snapshot of some kind of article, some kind of newsletter, which we are trying to educate our client that market is not something end of the world. If the market has come down by 35%, it's not the end of the world. There is other side, other story to it also going forward. So you have to sustain yourself. You have to, so hand holding comes from us, and probably that coaching is something which is required with you, rather than always looking at the return perspective. Return something is there जो आपको आएगा, but अगर आप stay करोगे, as I told you, behavioral gap, market has given this much of return, but we have got this much of return. Reason being, we got panicked because the market moved from here to here. In between, we got stuck and we moved out. So our return becomes smaller. So always be wise and take help of any financial professional. And as I told, that anyone who would be attending the webinar, they are eligible for a 30-minute free consultation from our side. This is my email ID and my phone number. So whoever who is interested to understand about financial planning or insurance planning, how you can manage your debt and everything, we are there for you.